What's going on, everybody? This is Nick from House of Paint 203, bringing you the third and final part of the Griffon series. He is all based up and mid-toned, and all we need to do is give him some final highlights to bring out that detail on his wings, his lion body, his talons, and all the rest. So we do have a lot of stuff to get into today, including his base, so let's jump right in. As always, I want to give a special shout out to friend of the show, Dominic Marriott, owner and founder of Credit UK, all the way across the pond in the UK. Dominic is a crafter of dice vaults, dice towers, dice boxes, dice trays. You name it, Dominic makes it, and you got to check out his stuff so that you can up your game at your gaming table as soon as possible. While you're here, be sure to smite like and slam subscribe so that you can stay up to date on all the latest content that I'm putting out there in my quest to paint the manual. And of course, here we are finishing up the Griffon. All right, so the first thing I want to do on the Griffon here is I want to go back into the wings, and this time around I'm going to be using a golden brown to produce a final highlight on his wingspan. So I'm going to I might just stick to the edges here. Very lightly just trying to catch the upper areas of his feathers. I don't want these to dive in the recesses, but just kind of give the detail on those feathers a little bit more shine. Do the same thing with his tail. At least up top, maybe on the bottom, his tail is a little bit more shaded. Try to get his feathers in here. So I think those wings look pretty good. Now I would like to go into let me go with his lion's body now first. The lion's body, I'm going to go in here with a pure orange ochre. I want this to be pretty subtle, so the curve of his tail. just some of the areas where the light would catch. Side here, really thinning out the paint before I apply it. So I want to say lion highlights are looking pretty good. Lion highlights are probably done. I would like to go in on the on the beak. At the end of part 2, I gave it a wash on the beak with a flesh tone. Let's see, do I go back to the orange ochre? I am going back. It is looking okay. While I've got it in the palette, I'll go into his eyes. Give those a nice little pop. Bring out a little detail on his talons. Not detail, but a little, back to a little highlighting. Be very careful, just following the curve of each little muscle. I guess. I don't know if they're muscles, but whatever they are, whatever you would call them. In the animal world, any zoologists that are following me on the channel, I apologize for butchering the scientific term for these. I'm gonna get the pads. I might use my number 2 brush for the pads. I'm gonna focus on the detail on his talons up top. Alright, I am going to be revisiting the talons. I think I'm going to go over actually the claws once more with another layer of black. All right, to be continued on the talons. I think I have an idea of what I want to do. It's gonna be risky, but we're gonna try it. Here comes a pupil. All right. He's pupil. All right, now I'm gonna bring out the feathers of his head with a final highlight. I'm not sure if I want to go over this with a dry brush or an applied highlight, but I think right now I'm gonna try an applied highlight. Graze over it like I did with the bone white. Just gonna see how it looks. All right, the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a purple ink and I'm gonna be going into his mouth. It's not quite a wash, but it can also act like a wash sometimes. Flying kind of over a rocky hill, so I'm going to be giving him a base on his stand here, a base of heavy blue-gray. Going to be giving him some environmental effects too. But for now, we're just going to base this, like I said, in heavy blue-gray. Just kind of going around the base as much as possible. Do not want to get any on the stalk. Those of you who have spent a lot of time in the house, you know that doesn't always work out according to plan. So I've kind of stopped with a centimeter or two to spare over there. I'm going to be covering a majority of this base. Well, I'm going to be giving it a wash as well, but I'm going to be covering a majority of the base with some environmental effects, some new, some old. Got some new stuff in, so I'll test it out on our Griffon here. All right, let's see, going back to the Griffon. Gonna give that ink just a little bit more time to dry. We're going on the mouth now that it's dry with a little rosy shadow. Really just trying to get the tongue. And on the base, I'm going to be using a black wash. Let that dry. So I'm actually not a huge fan of the way that it dried. It's probably because of the way that I applied it. I applied it kind of willy-nilly, and it's my bad. But yeah, not a huge fan of the way it dries. Luckily, I'm not going to leave much of the base exposed, so I just want to see how a dry brush looks here, going with Stonewall Gray, just to catch the raised areas if I can. And that's actually doing a nice job of bringing out some of the detail. Like I said, the detail on the base is a little bit subtle, it's a little flat. But this dry brush is doing a nice job of redeeming that wash. Alright, I'm actually really happy with that. Alright, good stuff. So let's see. I think what I'm going to do now is glue the base onto the stand. Usually adheres within 10 to 25 seconds. It's a very strong glue, so we'll give that a few. So I think what I'll do is pop some of this glue in the cavity of his belly. I'm just gonna have to hold him. Alright, so he's basically assembled now. Pretty cool pose, the diving Griffon. And now I think I'm gonna go in and work on that base. Alright, so I'm kind of gonna be throwing the kitchen sink here at this guy, at his base at least. So I have several different sorts of tufts that I'm gonna use. So the first one I'm using is a Fantasy Tuft, and it's kind of like a turquoise sort of color, and I'm just going to be going along the certain portions of the base with it here, like the black base. And these are stickers, so they peel right off of a paper. I'm not going to go too crazy with it, because they did only come with one, so I might get something. Over here as well. Gives it kind of more of an exotic color. I might move this, kind of separate them a little bit, like that. And then I want to use like a dry green. So it's kind of a larger tuft, if you will, that I'll pop like right there. And then I actually have just a dry wild one, so kind of like a little bush type deal. And I'm gonna use the same, use like another green over here. I'm going with my winter tuft. Pop that kind of in this corner. I want to cover the black there, so I'm gonna do that. I'll put another fantasy one, like a light turquoise. It's really just a matter of what you think think looks good. I'm gonna do that right there, and then give it one more. On the back. Leave some of that amazing rock exposed. I think I'm gonna add another winter tuft in here. Just to kind of, looks a little lonely in there, so there we go. All right, this has been the Griffon series, and as always, I thank you for watching. Information on how to follow me on all my social media platforms is immediately following the video, as is information on how to follow Dominic Marriott of Credit UK. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.